Pro Football Focus has ranked all 32 starters ahead of the 2025 season. So they have done tiers. They do this every year. So we'll go ahead and break it down. I'll give you some thoughts on each of these guys and where I would have them and all that. So enjoy the convo, kick back, and let's start. All right. So before I even see this list, I think there's a huge gap. Well, let me pull up a tier list and I'll kind of do it. I'll do it along with them. All right, so I found this tier list. I don't know if this is the right, I know it's not all the right players, but we'll kind of talk through it. So the way I look at quarterbacks is I would do like elite level guys. And these are your like Patrick Mahomes. This is Lamar Jackson. This is Josh Allen. This is Joe Burrow. That's probably like your top of the line. That they are in very separate from everyone else. Like they are as good as it gets. They are MVPs. They are dragging teams to the top. They are always in contention. They are legit, right? Then you have good. So good is going to be your tier where you got guys like Jalen Hurts who they can bounce back and forth between elite. They can get up into elite for stretches of the season or games or whatever, but for the most part, they're good. All right, these are good quarterbacks, solid quarterbacks, franchise guys you want, legit guys. Okay, so who else would I throw in there? I would throw like Jaden Daniels. I would throw in there. Let's see. I'm looking. CJ Stroud. He's probably bouncing between good and average, but I think you can probably put him in good. Let's see. We got some more people in here. Jared Goff probably is in that good area. Let's see. I wouldn't put Jordan Love in there yet. Fields, Herbert's probably at the back end. Stafford's in there. Okay. Then you have average, all right? Average is the guy who, again, can bounce into good, like Jordan Love. He can bounce in there, but I would say for the most part, he's average. For the most part, maybe even like slightly above average. Let's say slightly above average. Slightly above average. Okay. So we got slightly above average. So it's going to be Jordan Love, Baker Mayfield, Brock Purdy. Let's see. Dak is definitely in there. Geno's in there. Kyler Murray's in there. And the rest of Sam Darnold's probably in there. Russell might be at the back end. I think Russell's probably at the back end of it. Bo Nix is at the end of it. And then the rest of these guys, this is about right. Okay. Below average. All right. Below average is the guys where replaceable. They could peak into that slightly above average kind of world, but, you know, for the most part, they're below average level play. I would say Daniel Jones is in there. Bryce Young's in there. Caleb Williams is in there. Flacco's in there. Justin Fields is in there. Mason Rudolph is probably in there. Michael Penix is in there. Tua is probably at the end of slightly above average. And then you have, so Rattler is weird because he only plays 7 games, but Rattler would be like in that below average tier. Drake May's probably in there. All right, then you have rookies. So rookies, we have no idea. We don't know what they're going to do. So how could I possibly be like, oh yeah, Shedeur Sanders or Dylan Gabriel or whoever is above average. Cam Ward's above average. Cam Ward's good. We don't know that. So I put the rookies in like a whole separate place. Like the rookies to me are in their own unknown tier. I think way too often you see tier lists where like Cam Ward's going to be like 18th in the NFL. It's like, where do you get that number from? You know, how are you quantifying that at all? Okay. Then you have guys. So I'll put JJ McCarthy in rookie too, even though he's not a rookie, but I haven't seen him play. And I'll put Gabriel and Shedeur in there. Jackson Dart would go in there. Tyler Shuck would go in there. Now you have guys who have played, and I feel like you know who they are. All right, you have guys who you've seen them, you got a good feel for them, and they're just not good. And that's Anthony Richardson. If Richardson starts, I would consider him a bad starter. Just like last year, Bryce Young would have been in the bad starter tier, where I know who he is, know what he's doing, He's starting. He's bad. Lo and behold, he started. He was bad. Then he got benched again and figured it out. Okay, so if I was going through and kind of re-ranking some of these a little bit, like, I mean, I'm not going to go through and do all that. I don't want to put, but this is kind of the tiers of how I would look at the quarterbacks. Okay, so that's how I have it. Just knee-jerk reaction. Now let's see how PFF has it. Okay. Tier 1. Okay, Mahomes. Oh, so they do elite, high-end starters, solid starters, but they need more help, young players, okay, which is kind of how I did it, veterans capable of solid play, okay, low-end starters, all right, whatever. Okay, so here we go. So they go Mahomes, Burrow, Jackson, Allen, and they're elite, which is the same as mine. All right, so I agree, 100%. Now, they actually do like 1 through 32, which I have not done. I might do it after, who knows. Then they're high-end starters, all right? So my good players, Jalen Hurts, Jaden Daniels, Matthew Stafford, Justin Herbert. Okay, this is the same. Okay, so that's a tier on its own. All right, so they go Hurts, Daniels, Stafford, and Herbert. All right, so they have Stroud and Goff out of that. So then they go solid starters who have flashed high-end play, which is Goff, Geno, Purdy. All right, Goff, Geno, Purdy. Okay. Solid stars that need more help. Jordan Love, Baker, Stroud. Oh, Trevor Lawrence isn't on here. I just realized that. Trevor Lawrence isn't on here. Trevor Lawrence would be in my... How do they leave Trevor Lawrence off? I would have Trevor Lawrence in below average, by the way. All right, then they go Trevor Lawrence 16, Dak Prescott 17, Tua 18. Young players with a wide range of outcomes. Bo Nix, Bryce Young, McCarthy, Drake May, Michael Penix, Caleb, Cam Ward. See, like, how can they have Cam Ward over Sam Darnold? That's crazy to me. Sam Darnold just had one hell of a year. Like, Sam Darnold just had a really good year, and Cam Ward hasn't taken a snap. I think that's crazy. Sidebar, but you have to be really careful comparing quarterbacks and like statistics from the past. So I've had this comment come up a few times, so I just want to talk about it. So I've seen people say if you compare Derek Carr's top 10, our first 10 seasons, or maybe first 11 seasons, with Tom Brady's first 11 seasons, that Carr has similar numbers. Well, you have to remember, ladies and gentlemen, like the NFL has changed so much in the last couple of years, or not even the last couple, but it's just changed so much, so fast to kind of make passing easier, and passing has become more of the game, that if you compare old stats with new stats, even if they're just a decade apart, right? Brady's first 10 years are like from 2001 to 2011. Like, that's a huge shift in the NFL versus 2011 versus to 2022. And I want to show you an example. So I've compared Aaron Brooks with the Saints, his first 6 seasons, with Joe Montana's first 6 seasons. Now, what do you think the numbers are going to look like? Little trivia. Who do you think has more passing yards? Who do you think has more passing touchdowns? Think about how bad Aaron Brooks was and how bad the Saints were. And think about how good Joe Montana was and how good the 49ers were. Here they are, right here. How insane is this? So, in 3 less games, okay? In 3 less games, Aaron Brooks has 4,000 more passing yards. He has 14 more touchdowns. Like, he's got, I mean, just if you just blanketly compare numbers like that in different eras, you get really wonky results. So data and analytics and stats and all that, they are good to look at, and it is important to use them. But like we say all the time on this channel, context truly matters. And having the context, I mean, even just the idea of pass interference. You know, pass interference in 2001 compared to 2019 were completely different, right? Pace of play, the size of athletes, the running game, like tempo, things like that are so different. Okay, so it's important to remember that. Right? So you got to be careful with your data analysis. I'm glad we're doing it, but hopefully this will stop the what I see of the Derek Carr first 10 years, Tom Brady first 10 years, Tom Brady first 10 years compared to whoever first 10 years. If Aaron Brooks can look better than Joe Montana. That's all you need to know. Sam Darnold, 26. Russell, 27. Fields, 28. Flacco, 29. Richardson, 30. Rudolph, 31. Shuck, 32. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I would put Rudolph at bad, looking back. Fields is probably closer to bad, but I think below average is okay because he's so dangerous with his legs. So, I mean, yeah, their list is like, okay, Mahomes, Burrow, Jackson, Allen, no doubt. High-end starters. Hurts at 5, Daniels at 6, Stafford at 7, Herbert at 8, Goff at 9, Geno at 10, all seem okay. Purdy at 11 seems about right. Love at 12. A little high, I think, because Love really, at this point now, like, he's had a good, 7 games in his career? The back end of 2023? So, who is he? All right, like, everyone's just like, oh, man, the Packers found their next guy in Jordan Love. It's like, did they? We know he was cool for 6-7 games. So was Nick Foles. So was Joe Flacco. You know, like, you can catch fire for 6, 7, 8 games, but is he actually the guy in Green Bay? I think he could be, but I need to see it for longer. I might have Baker ahead of him, to be honest. I definitely would have Stroud. I for sure would have Stroud ahead of Jordan Love. I think Stroud is falling a little bit. Stroud represents the cautionary tale for Jaden Daniels, a stellar rookie season followed by a sophomore slump. True. That said, he finished 2024 strong, delivered in the playoffs, leading the Texans to a win over the Chargers. Yeah. I think Stroud's a little low here. I'd be comfortable saying he's good. Kyler's kind of turned up. He's kind of turning the page on his story. I think Kyler, some people may have had him below average last year. I think now that he's kind of healthy, figuring things out, I think he's in that above average world. Trevor Lawrence, guy sucks. This will be an interesting year, though. You've got Brian Thomas, Travis Hunter, and Liam Cohen. So if he can't figure it out this year, Jesus. Like, they are doing everything they can to make Trevor Lawrence work. Now, I'll say, I say all that to say, depends on how you feel about Travis Hunter, but, Dak Prescott, Dak has been really good. 17 feels kind of low. We'll see when I do my full ranking, but he is getting older. Some other young guys are surpassing him. I'd probably rather have Dak than Trevor, but it's close. Tua, same thing. I'd rather have Tua, but it's close. And, like, the difference between 18 and 16 and 15, it's not really, that's why I like to do the tier lists. And then, it's really hard to say with, like, young guys after 1 year. Bo Nix was sweet his rookie season. Yes, so is Mac Jones. So are you really ready to be like, all right, this guy's just no doubt about it, he's cemented himself? Or would you be surprised if he had a sophomore slump? I wouldn't, right? So, but on the same token, you're kind of grading them as they are now. You're not doing like a projection forward of these guys' career. McCarthy, like, how can you have him 24? How can you have J.J. McCarthy ahead of Drake May? We saw what Drake May did last year. We have never seen J.J. McCarthy take a snap. I'm leaning on my personal evaluation here as I had McCarthy as the top quarterback in the draft. Damn. We didn't get to see him as a rookie, but his 2023 season in Michigan, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I think this is crazy to have him this high. When, like, how can you have J.J. McCarthy at 21 and Sam Darnold at 26? Because you're hoping that J.J. McCarthy does what Sam Darnold did. But you've seen Sam Darnold do it, damn Darnold. You've seen Sam Darnold do what you're hoping J.J. McCarthy can do. So Darnold should be up here. Darnold's way too low on this list. Way too low. The big question for Darnold and the Seahawks is which version of the quarterback shows up. Will it be the one we saw from 2018 to 2023 or last year? His late season regression and playoff struggles were concerning, and he'll be working with the less talented supporting cast in Seattle. All right. Okay, so real quick, let me grade mine out. So this is how I would have them all ranked. I'm going to use Dylan Gabriel for Trevor Lawrence. Okay. I would probably do it like this. I'd probably go Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow. In good, I would have Jalen Hurts, Jaden Daniels, Stafford, Stroud, Goff, Herbert. That seems about right. In this one, let's see. Probably go. Let's put Russell in below average. Let's see. Okay, then Russell. Who did I say this was? Trevor Lawrence. This is Trevor Lawrence. Russell. Trevor probably there. Russell, Trevor, Daniel Jones, Caleb Williams, Bryce Young, Flacco, Penix, Rat Daddy. Probably have May over Penix. I probably have Young over Penix. I probably have Fields over Penix. Flacco, he might just be bad at this point. Then we go Flacco, Rudolph, Richardson, and then the rookies. Who cares? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so this is my top 10. Is Mahomes, Allen, Jackson, Burrow, Hurts, Daniels, Stafford, Stroud, Goff, Herbert. 11 is Geno. 12 is Baker. 13 is Purdy. 14 is Love. 15 is Dak. 16 is Kyler. 17 is Darnold. 18 is Tua. 19 is Bo Nix. 20 is Russell. 21 is Trevor Lawrence. 22 is Daniel Jones. 23 is Caleb Williams. 24 is Drake May. 25 is Bryce Young. 26 is Justin Fields. 27 is Michael Penix. 28 is Spencer Rattler. 29 is Flacco. 30 is Mason Rudolph. 31 is Anthony Richardson. 32 is Cam. The rookies really don't count. It's hard, and some of these guys are like backups, and some, like, obviously Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson can't both be on there. So yeah, I mean they handle the rookies differently, but the rest I would say is relatively pretty close. I'm a little lower on Trevor Lawrence, I think, than most, but I've seen all I need to see. All right, I might have Caleb Williams too high, but I'm kind of comfortable with that. I'm really hesitant to throw young quarterbacks like too high up too fast. I think Bo Nix is probably in the safest spot because of Sean Payton. You could say maybe Caleb Williams with Ben Johnson, but again, like, we don't know what Ben Johnson's going to be like as a head coach. I have a pretty good idea what Sean Payton's like as a head coach. So, and I don't factor in injuries or things like that. So, like, Tua's concussions, like, I'm not really worried about that. I'm just worried about him in the system, in the offense, like what they're doing, what he's supposed to do. Yeah, I feel good about this list. I mean, I put literally zero thought into it, but yeah, I mean, Geno is certainly knocking on that top 10, but I'd probably rather have Stroud, but it's close. I mean, it's pretty close. Maybe I should have Stroud a little lower. Maybe it should be more like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So like 8 Goff, 9 Herbert, 10 Stroud, 11 Geno. That sounds about right. I can see a flip flop with Stroud and Geno. I like Geno a lot. I think Geno's awesome. I think Geno's better than people give him credit for. If you would have pegged Smith, to grade as the 6th best passer in the NFL over the past 2 seasons, but here we are. In fact, his 85.8 passing grade in that span is just 0.2 points shy of Patrick Mahomes. After being traded for a 3rd-round pick this offseason, Smith should enjoy an improved offensive line, but downgrade in receiving weapons. I mean, not really. When you factor in like Brock Bowers, you factor in like their tight ends and Ashton Genty and all that. So I think the Raiders are going to be sweet. He protects the football and has a knack of generating big-time throws. Geno's good. Like, Geno's legit. You know, he's not better than these guys. He could be top 10 with strength. Like, if you wanted to do this and put Geno in the 2nd tier, I'm fine with that. But for right now, we'll have him like this. So, yeah, this is how I would do it. I mean, this would be my ranking. PFF, pretty close. I mean, I can't really find like any big qualms. like I said, maybe it's having Stroud at 14 and Jordan Love a little too high, and the JJ McCarthy. I think McCarthy's way too high. For a total unknown, I think he's way too high. And I think Sam Darnold's way too low. But, yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. Let me know in the comments below what you think. What's your tier ranking? Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.